What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're going to be taking a look at another film review. However, I have a couple of things to say before we get into that. A lot of you have complained about me rage baiting with my reviews. That is not my intention. I'm not trying to bait any of you into clicking on my video out of rage. I'm genuinely just expressing my opinions, my thoughts of these movies, and getting into my opinions. I'm not trying to sort of have an opinion to sort of like, you know, get you angry, to make you comment and interact with the video. I am merely just saying my genuine opinion. I'm not making up a fabricated opinion to sort of get you to, you know, interact with me out of anger or spite. And also, you've told me that my videos being half my video just being me recapping the story is boring, so I'm going to try and limit the recap to a little bit of a shorter segment of the video rather than half of the video, but some movie plot lines do need a little bit more explanation than others. So, without any further delay, let's head over to what Google has to say about the movie topic of today, which is Warhammer? Not Warhammer. Fuck me. That's a completely different thing. We're on about Warcraft, which has a 6.7 out of 10 IMDb, 29% Rotten Tomatoes, and you can watch it on Sky Star, Now TV, Google Play, and Netflix. A few human survivors must team up with a group of distressing orcs to stop an orc horde from invading their planet through a magic portal. So how the story actually starts is with Shrek and his gang finding this portal, building it up, and basically traveling through it to this other world because their world is dying, their world is dead, and they need a new world. So the Orc King, the Ogre King, sends his best men through this portal to survive, and this guy, this orc, brings his wife, who's pregnant with his son, through to this Warforged path. Don't know why you'd bring your pregnant wife with you, but sure, go ahead, pop off king. And they also bring a runt, someone who none of them actually like and who they all think is quite shit. She ends up escaping and getting involved with the humans, and the rest of the orcs build a base around the other side of the portal. The orcs then are staging a civil war against the others because they think that it's shit and that they don't want to take part in it. So, you know, the orcs are fighting amongst themselves, trying to, you know, stop this because they feel like it's wrong and they shouldn't be doing this, but they also need to do this because of their planet being, like, dying. So they're fighting amongst themselves, where the people are also fighting amongst themselves because there is one wizard who's working for the people, but he's also working for the orcs, and he creates a magic portal which they can go through and bring more of their orc army through. And then we have that one, like, runt orc teaming up with the humans to give them insight about the orcs, and then they go to war with the orcs, they fight the orcs, and they fight the wizard, they beat the wizard, so the portal closes, the main orc dies, and the main orc mum dies as well, so the kid floats down a river like Moses and gets picked up by a random fucking human, and the movie ends with that kid screaming. But the orc chief sees the orc girl kill the human king and then accepts her into the horde because the king was like, hey, you need to find peace between the orcs and humans. You are the only one that can do that. You need to kill me to gain the orcs' respect so you can sort of take them down from the inside out. And that's what she does. And that's where the movie sort of ends. I'm going to be honest. Her love interest with one of the humans kind of goes to shit after she's seen doing this and after she's seen killing this guy. And I think that this movie was supposed to set up a whole franchise and set up a whole sort of cinematic universe like the Marvel movies and the DC movies, but it just never took off. I'm going to be honest, I have never played Warcraft, so I have no idea what the story is. This is my first interaction with the world, and I didn't think it was too bad. Personally, I didn't like the story of the main orc revolution, like rebellion. I thought that was quite shit, and just took up a lot of screen time that we didn't really need to see, because it didn't really work out at all. Like, it was kind of just filler, because it didn't add anything to the story. It added a little bit of drama to the orcs side, showing that like the orcs are a little bit more of a traditional like group, and they like their traditions, and their traditions are sacred, and their opinions are strong, so they won't do everything the wizard guy wants them to do. And that's all it really achieved, because other than that, it was kind of just filler of them fighting amongst themselves and planning a revolution which didn't work. It got them nowhere. It was just padding to pad out the movie. I was really interested in the female orc storyline, with her teaming up with the humans and actually feeling respected, and having this one human go from not trusting her at all to actually loving her, to then seeing her betrayal. And again, it's all from perspective, showing how from each person's perspective it can be seen in a different light, because her knife was left in his body. So from his point of view, she betrayed them, she killed the king, and was working for the orcs all along. So his trust is broken, his heart is in pieces, and she didn't even want to do it. It was the king's idea. The king made her do it. So again, it's all about perspective from what you see, from, you know, obviously taking everything at face value, but she can't even communicate with him to tell him. This dude was also in the fucking Dune series, and I was shocked, and I spent half this movie fucking staring at this guy, being like, who the fuck are you? Where do I know you from? Where have I seen your face before? And I found out that he was in the Dune series. So this dude loves his fantasy, this dude loves his sci-fi, this dude loves his sort of future worlds and sort of medieval worlds, and his sort of his ties with magic, because he's magic in both of these, and that's sick as fuck. The CGI is decent as well, by the way. CGI is pretty good when it's just the orcs on their own. When the orcs are interacting with the humans, it's kinda gets a little sloppy and a little choppy, but overall, I think it's pretty decent, and is better than what, like, some fucking nowadays CGI looks like, not gonna lie. It is better than some fucking CGI now. I know CGI peaked with Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, but this is pretty close. This is pretty close to, like, peak CGI, and, I'm a little upset, that we won't see anything like this again, because this is creative, this is interesting. I like these types of worlds. I like Lord of the Rings, I like Rings of Power, like, all these dark fantasy worlds, Dark Crystal, stuff like that. I like them. They're interesting. They're great at world building. And so is this. However, it's more told to us in monologues. We don't actually get to see some of the world building. It's like, our world is dying. We don't get to see their world dying. Like, we don't get to see trees falling, or like the soil corrupted like we do in Moana, where the sort of black ash, like the venom-like corruption, takes over her island, and that's how we know that shit's going bad. We just get told that their Earth is dying, but every time we see their Earth, it doesn't look too bad. It just kind of like gray. Like it's not gray in like the terms of how you're thinking. It's just not as bright as the other world, but it's not like dead. It's not like what we see in WALL-E or what we see on Pandora, like in the Avatar world, where it genuinely goes grey. It is just a little bit dull. There is still colour to it, and I'm not sure if that's the camera or whatnot, but it doesn't fully show us it dying. The wizard dude is a complex fucking character, and him being cursed, I thought was pretty cool. We don't get to see how he was cursed or why he's cursed, but he just is cursed. And that fight with him felt like a video game boss battle at the end of the movie, and obviously Warcraft is a video game, so that made sense, and I understood it, and I get why they did it. I don't know if it's an actual video game, like, boss in the game, but I think that'd be cool if it was. The orcs are the most detailed, like, characters in this movie, with all these sort of skulls, bones, and armor that they have on, and their different sort of ranks that they have for each other. They were just the most, like, well-built characters in the entire movie. The humans were kind of just all over the place with how basic they were. They didn't really have much going for them. They just wanted to, you know, go go and protect their world from the orcs, because they didn't want to lose it to the orcs. Other than that, I think this movie was pretty good. I had a good time. It did not bore me to the point where I had to go on my phone, and it kept me locked in throughout the entire movie, even for its like 2-hour runtime. I watched this from start to finish, no phone break. So you know what? That's a good movie in my book. And other than that, I don't really have much else to say. So I'm gonna be loving you, and leaving you with a solid 7 out of 10 rating for this movie. If you do want to go watch it for yourself, I do recommend it. And if you do want me to watch any other movies, TV shows, or animes, definitely leave it down in the comments below, and I'll get on it as quickly as possible. But other than that, goodbye.